Well, it's the start of the new season and we are out at the Vaal on Tuesday, the 1st of August 2023. It is racing on the classic track, 9 races on the program. 2023-2024 season gets underway, racing out in Joburg. And joined by Alistair Cohen on the line. Alistair, how are you doing? And what's your overall take on the champion season?
Yeah, Raheel, great end to the season as expected. Love Gold Cup Day. All those high-class grade ones were, they delivered, and most of them delivered as you would have expected. I thought Sandringham Summit was out of the top draw. I loved Isi Vungu's win to give the Hollywood Syndicate their 5th grade 1 victory of the season, and also their 5th grade 1 win in their standing as owners. So I thought that was a lovely cherry on the top for their big season that they've had. But yeah, I thought overall last season was excellent. The whole Cape Summer I thought was great. The Joburg Triple Crown campaign was also excellent. I thought, although I got the back end of that, I like what I saw there, especially among the older horses. And champion season, just a great way to culminate the 3 months of high quality racing action. So I think it's everything that everyone wanted to see, Raheel.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not going to be too long before we are back into swing of things, because the season will begin soon, and obviously top class horses back in action, and we look forward to that. But racing on Tuesday, it's 9 races on the program, 11:45 the time that you need to get your bets on for race number 1, over 1,450 meters, and obviously the horses have turned a year older now, so it's 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds that will be taking on one another in this event. Pass the Baton, your 15-10 favorite. 33-10 about Inner Sense. 5-1 Mount Etna. 5-1 Crystal Maiden. 6-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, Pass the Baton, a filly that has run second in the last 2 starts. And last time out beyond Count Your Chances, who looked to be a limited maiden, getting it right at the 14th or 15th attempt, if I'm getting that right. But she's a horse that's obviously in good vein of form, and she could possibly go close here.
Yeah, she looks like she's set up to win, if not now, to win very soon, Raheel. She's got the worst of the draws. That's a worry for me. Draw 9 out of 9 out of over 1,450. That's not going to be an easy proposition for number 6, Pass the Baton. So that would sway me towards number 1, Inner Sense. Pilasande and Carly and Paul Matchett have had a rocking last 3 months with a lot of horses of the similar ilk coming out and winning. Inner Sense only had the 2 runs for Matchett. The first one behind Raining Rubies. I know Raining Rubies was a very moderate maiden and took a while to win, but the last run to One Fell Swoop I think was actually a better run, despite finishing 3 lengths back. I think One Fell Swoop has got a little bit to come, and also return with valid excuses to number 1, Inner Sense. So I think the step up to 1,450 is bound to help number 1, Inner Sense, a little bit more. I think that'll carry her to getting a good chance and then possibly being the one to beat. So I'll go with number 1, Inner Sense, to start the new season, and Pilasande, Carly and Paul Matchett to top the log after 1 race with about 3,000 left to go in the season. I respect number 6, Pass the Baton's chances. 7, Mount Etna's certainly got some sort of say. I know nothing about the first time, and number 9, Crystal Maiden, from the Janse van Vuren stable. Gavin Larena takes the ride, so just watch the betting on her, but I've not heard a word, and I do normally hear from the yard when they do expect something, so we'll keep the door ajar for her.
Yeah, numbers 1, 6 and 7, maybe the horses that you can play around in race number 1 on the program, and then just follow the market with regards to horse number 9, Crystal Maiden. Race number 2 on the program will be the start of the bipod for 1,450 meters a trip. Get your bets on by 12:15 on the afternoon, and here it's Tamil Tigress at 11-10, Caliburn at 6-1, along with Kudzu at 7-1 about Mizzen Sale, 8-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, Alistair, is it Tamil Tigress the one to beat and the one that's going to take all the beating in race number 2?
Well, she's been tested, Raheel. Of that, there's no doubt. She ran in Grade 3 and Grade 2 company during champion season. She actually ran quite nicely in the Devonair Stakes when finishing 3rd, 2.5 lengths to Secret Identity. She was probably outgunned last time in the Golden Slipper when given every chance, sat behind the pace, and they all got outrun by Mrs. Geriatric. So she's probably not up to that level. So coming back to these calmer waters, Jeffrey Saister on board. I have time for number 9, Tamil Tigress, but I love what I saw from Caliburn on debut. I called that race. She had no right to finish less than 3 lengths behind New Mexico when they turned for home. She was all at sea, and she took off over the closing stages. I think the more free-striding Vaal Classic track will probably help her a lot, and if she's a little bit more interested in the early stages, I don't want to say keen, but a little bit more interested in the early stages and travels better and has learned enough from her first run, she could be the value. I'm not surprised to see her trading at a price of around 6-1. The son of Quirari, Craig Zaki, jumped back in the irons for Fani Broncos. Fani's horses are running well, if not winning, they're going close. So I think number 6, Caliburn, is my idea of the winner in race number 2. Like I said, respect number 9, Tamil Tigress's chances. Between Johan's horses, quite interesting, because Gavin Larena has taken the rider number 8, Kudzu, so that might sway you into his direction. But I thought number 10, Mizzen Sales last run was, although well beaten by Duenna, I thought good enough. I think that she's got scope to improve going the extra distance, not necessarily win, but run another nice race. So I'm a little bit skeptical about how the jockey arrangements have been worked out. So much like the first time in race 1, Crystal Maiden, watch the betting with number 8, Kudzu in race 2.
Bipot 6 and 9 for you?
Bipot 6 and 9 for me, definitely.
Yeah, that's horses 6 and 9. Caliburn definitely offers some decent value at around 6-1 in the market, and Tamil Tigress your favorite at around 11-10. We'll move along to race number 3, the start of the place accumulator over 1450 meters. This is Alistair's suggested bet on the day, and we'll have a look at that a bit later on after race number 9. Now, the third race on the program, Strewn Sky, your favorite at 7-2. It is Pike Place at 4-1, Breath of Magic 9-2. Copper John is trading in at 5-1, and then it's 6-1 and better bar those. Now, having a look at race number 3, would you say that you possibly agree with the market that number 9 tops the betting boards based on his first start, or obviously there's other horses that could make him run?
Yes, Raheel. I think that the bookmakers have actually got this right. Now, a couple of things. I think Johan's kept this race alive for Strewn Sky, so I don't know if Saturday is going to run or not. That'll bring Strewn Sky into a better draw. I know that Johan's reckoning when it comes to races around the turn is normally draw 7 or less. Strewn Sky has drawn 8, Saturday has drawn 7, so I'd expect coming in a position will do no harm. And it was a strange one, because Wings Within Me is from the yard as well, and I spoke to Johan after the race. I was presenting that day on the 8th of July, and I remember the son of Patala Palace at the sales, the half-brother to horse that Candice Dawson trained, who earned black type in the form of Smoking Hot. And Candice, funny enough, was underbidder on the horse number 9, Strewn Sky. And I went to Johan before the race and said, right, you got Henny Krailing on, what are you expecting? He said, this is actually a proper horse. He's not going to win today, he's not going to win over 1,000 meters. And then after the race, I thought, oh, Johan, beaten one home. I mean, I'm not that excited. He said, I promise you, I'm so happy with the run. So just on what I know, I think that he'll make the necessary improvement going the extra distance. Gavin Larena now on board. The half-sister that I'm talking about came into her own over a trip. Not going to be a 1,000-meter horse, so I probably short-changed him after his first run. And number 9, Strewn Sky, for me, will be my top choice. Number 1, Pike Place, I think represents the value. I think he's coming along the right way. Chase Mojan back on board for Diane Stenger. The last run, I think, was fair enough. Viva de Janeiro ran away from the field. Pike Place was in a pile with the second-placed horse. So I think there's enough there to recommend perhaps running into the top 3, making swingers look a little bit more promising.
Yeah, that's horse number 1, Pike Place. But as you heard from Alistair, number 9, Strewn Sky, definitely the one to beat. Johan Janssen van Vuuren did mention that he's a horse that does have some nice ability. So maybe now over the 1450-meter trip, he could get the job done at the second time of asking. We'll move along to race number 4, the start of the pick 6. This is 1450 meters the distance, and it's a fillies and mares 76 handicap. Maboneng, your 3-1 favorite. Just Be Nice at 9-2. Mashavi at 9-2. Sparkling Jubilee 5-1, along with Key Element, and then it's 8-1 and better bar those. Now, Maboneng, she's obviously a tough horse. She's won 4 times, and a lot of her wins have come last season. She's drawn well, which is a huge positive, and she enjoys the course. But she could just be vulnerable to improving horses in this event, Alistair.
That's exactly how I read it here, Raheel. Although Maboneng has hit her straps and she's rated 68, which is very low, but a little bit worried that the handicapper might just have the grips of number 5, Maboneng. I expect it to go well, but I don't think she's past the post. I was surprised to see a little bit of early money for this daughter of Water Winter. Rachel Vineker's 1.5 kilo claim could be beneficial to number 5, Maboneng, so she's in my pick 6. I'm not for one moment suggesting she can't win. She most definitely can. Sean Tarry over the last 3 months has been untouchable, the trainer of the season, and it's not even close. So there's a lot of respect I'm throwing number 5 Maboneng's way. Plus she also holds number 3 Miss Shavy, and I expect her to stay in front of Miss Shavy. But a report for number 1, Just Be Nice, despite coming off a short layoff, she's doing very nicely at home. Happy with her. If she doesn't win, she'll go very close. And I think there's something about number 6 Key Element. Last run was horrible. But look past that run. Her maiden win on the 16th of May, that's a useful form line, a useful juvenile form line. Certainly a little bit more promising than the form lines at number 3, Miss Shavy brings in. I actually spoke to Paul Matchett about her. She's a half-sister to Quasi for sure, for what it's worth, who didn't run nicely on Sunday at all. But with that said, Paul actually thinks number 6 Key Element's going to train on and be a nice 3-year-old and could sort of do an eye of the prophet thing and being a bit of a slow burn and getting to grips at the right time and perhaps getting into legs of the Wilgeborst Triple Tiara number 6 Key Element. So just keep an eye on her. Not for one moment saying she's past the post yet, but I think she'll run nicely. So I've got 1 and 6 in my place accumulator. Pick 6, you'll have to open up a little bit more with number 3 Miss Shavy and number 5 Maboneng, and I think you'll be safe with them.
Yeah, that's 1, 3, 5, and 6 are numbers that you can include in the pick 6. But place accumulators, numbers 1 and 6 should be good enough to see you through leg number 2. Race number 5 on the card. This is an MR82 handicap over 1600 meters, 13:55 the off time. Running rifles, the top weight, your favorite at 3-1, 33-10 about Emporium, 4-1 about Besuye, 6-1 about Lady Calavera, and then it's 8-1 and better bar those. Now, this mare, Lady Calavera, last time out, I truly believe that she should have won, and she went down narrowly under length, and I know that she's obviously meeting open company here, but I think she's capable of holding her own. She's drawn the ace, she's loves the course and distance. I think she's going to go very, very close and run another huge race at 6-1.
Yeah, she's a player, Raheel. I like her chances to an extent. I agree with you because I actually left her out last time. I thought, no, Lady Calavera in a small field, that's one horse who can't win. And 200 metres out of there, oh my word, we're in trouble here. I'm going to go out of everything. So Lady Calavera, again, lifted herself and lifted her rating as a consequence. I don't like horses getting penalised for being a loser, but she probably deserved that penalty for running so nicely to say yes. But I'm finding it hard to look past number 1 Running Rifles here. I must be honest, I don't think the Turfentine Inside Track suited him last time. He had no hope with the stable companion Sir Yaverman, who came out and franked his own form, and I think that everything is going to be a number 1 Running Rifles favour despite top weight. I think Bay Sir Ye is just a better horse on the inside track. I worry about him when he gets away from there because he's got a good turn of foot, but he can't sustain it. Nordic Rebel's getting on in days. Emporium's very interesting. I see that he's quite high up in the market, beating Wise Act. Wise Act obviously won a good race a week ago at the Vaal, so I think number 8, he's a good-looking horse. He's a strapping son of Canford Cliffs, but I actually believe he got away with one last time. I think his experience and Wise Act's inexperience put it the way of Emporium, so I'm on the fence with him on Tuesday afternoon, and I think the most reliable, most solid option is undoubtedly number 1 Running Rifles, Raheel. I think he'll take all the beating, but as you say, your pick number 6, Lady Calavera, I have respect for. She could be the money maker in the race.
Would you give the 10-year-old son of Rebel King a trifecta quartet chance with the 2.5 off the back?
Oh, always in the trifecta and quartet number 5 Nordic Rebel. You gotta forgive him the odd flat run that's going to come from time to time at the age of 10. Erico Verdini's done an unbelievable job. He's an Equine millionaire. What a horse he's been for the connections. I don't know how much life is in those legs, but he's always worth throwing into trifectas and quartets, but I can't see him winning.
Yeah, it's such a honest sort, Nordic Rebel. But number 1, Running Rifles, the one to beat here for Alistair. Gavin Lerena aboard, and they'll be the Peter Yard, Gavin Lerena, they'll be hoping to go one better than they did last time out. We'll move along to race number 6. It's the Fillies and Mares 76 handicap that is set to be run over 2,000 meters. 2:30 the time that you need to get your bets on by. 28-10 about number 2, Ballroom Bliss. 33-10 about Princess Kesh. 9-2, Kind Judy. It is 6-1 and better bar those. Now, Princess Kesh winning debut for the Heather Adamson yard with Samanga Kumalo aboard, but it is Marco van Rensburg that takes over in the irons, and she's pulled a good draw of gate number 2, enjoys the course. Lots in her favours once again.
I don't know if I've read this race too well, Raheel. I've gone 1 and 3 in the place accumulator. My line of thinking is as follows. Kind Judy, I don't think got home over 3,000 metres last time. Despite top weight, I think she's banging at the door. There was a run where she escaped the handicapper. That was the run in the Spook Express when she ran a quarter of a length to Red Mabel. And I think the conditions of the race show that you can't get a penalty for running in behind. So she obviously stayed in 81. Then she came down, but probably didn't stay. So I think number 1, Kind Judy, is the right one. That's my line of thinking, but I'm worried about the top weight. Poor Ballroom Bliss can't crack a draw. If she was drawn nearer the paint, I'd actually put my head down with number 2, Ballroom Bliss. But at the same time, I'm debating with myself whether I'm overthinking it, because she's had bad draws in her last 3 starts, and she's won once and nearly won the other 2. So she can overcome the disadvantage of a bad draw, number 2, Ballroom Bliss. So I've left her out probably against my better judgment. And then number 3, Special Charm. I think that she's upwardly mobile this season. She was tested in the East Coast Handicap, and she didn't run all that badly behind Time Fly. She was beaten 5 1/4 lengths behind a horse that just emerged during champion season. And her 2 runs back have been okay. I think they were a bit disappointed with their last run behind Quasi's Lady, but the fact that she's back 4 weeks later, I think suggests that there wasn't a hell of a lot that they could find wrong. So just giving her a nice freshen up and bring her back to the races. She was a late developer, was number 3, Special Charm, but she suddenly hit her straps, and she's become good value for money. So I'm running around in circles in this race, I must be honest. 1 and 3 in my suggested bet, which is the place accumulator, but in the pick 6, I'd be very close to putting in field. I hate going with a cop-out in a race like this, but I think that's the way that you might have to. Maybe not field. I think the bottom weights have got it all to do, to be fair. But it's a bit of a cop-out in this race. I've got a suspicion that I've read it incorrectly.
Yeah, numbers 1, Kind Judy, and number 3, Special Charm, the numbers for Alistair. But as you heard from him, maybe you want to go the field in those pick 6s, because it looks to be the type of race where you could just get a bit of a result if the horses at the top of betting boards don't pitch up on the day. We move along to race number 7, and race number 7 is set to be run over 1,000 meters. It's a Fillies and Mares 90 handicap, where Rose for Trippy is your favorite, having her first start for the new yard. It is at 7-2. It is Global Thunder at 4-1. Mythical Dream at 5-1. Along with Wings of Nike, it is 6-1 and better bar those. Now, obviously Tayuba, she ran a shocker last week, beaten 6 lengths, and I actually thought she would go close in that event. Alistair, do you give her any chance now that she's got a bit less weight on her back?
Penultimate run, good chance. On the run last week, no chance. It was a horrible run last week at Turfentine. So the fact that de Kock's backing out so quickly, that's also a bit of a worry. That wouldn't be his style. So I don't know how to read number 7, Tayuba. But I actually had a bet on her when she ran 3rd to What a Honey. I really liked her, and she just got outrun by What a Honey in the beginning. And What a Honey nearly won on the same day as well, on Thursday last week at Turfentine. So that form looks good, but the run on Thursday from Tayuba was awful. So my numbers here are 1, 5, and 6. Here's my line of thinking. Rose for Trippy, first run for Tony Peter. You know what that means. If she gets out the stalls, she could be a very, very hard horse to beat. Even if she doesn't get out of the stalls on term, she does have a turn of foot that can finish off a few horses. 5, Razara. Now, ignore the last run when reported to be not striding out. That was also over 1,200 metres. She's a 1,000-metre specialist, back at home over 1,000 metres. I think number 5, Razara, is worth another chance or 2. And then number 6, Wings of Nike. Look at Rachel Vinegar's record on this daughter of Vaal. 3 rides for 2 wins. And those 2 wins have come at big prices as well. She was punted off the boards once when Rachel rode her to victory. Last lightweight of 54 kilos. There go the dogs, maybe that's an omen. Nice 54 kilos on the back of number 6, Wings and Nike. Last run came against Boys. Roseford Trippy puts me off a little bit against having a bet on number 6 Wings of Nike. I'll probably assess on the way down to the start. I am on course on Tuesday, so I'll get a good look at how Roseford Trippy looks compared to Wings of Nike. But if Roseford Trippy looks underdone, not that I expect that, I might have a bet on number 6 Wings of Nike. I'm actually quite keen on her chances here.
You've got a bit more confidence since the dog started barking there.
Yeah, no, that definitely piqued my interest. But they stopped a horse when I did a preview with D's a few months ago. A horse called BC. They were going mad for BC, and he's still running.
Well, number 6, Wings of Nike, definitely a good record with Rachel Vinegar aboard, so maybe want to include. And even number 4, Mythical Dream, I would throw this filly into the mix. She's got a Gavin Lorena back aboard, which I think is a huge positive because he was aboard for her best performances, and maybe she could bounce back to winning ways, and hopefully the straight course with that draw it does manage to suit her. But it is quite a competitive fillies and mares 90 handicap, as you heard from Alistair. Include a couple of horses in those place accumulators and pick sixes. Race number 8, fillies and mares 76 handicap over the 1,000 meter trip, and here it is a Golden Sickle at 12 to 10, 7 to 1 on cue, 7 to 1 Simply Magic, 8 to 1 and Better Bar. Those now, Golden Sickle ran out a facile winner last time out when she beat Red Carpet Girl, having to concede 8.5 kgs. It's a similar type of race, this time only over at the Vaal, but I think she's a filly that's got lots of ability. She's a nicely bred daughter of Vercingetorix, and I think she's probably got more ability than the runners that she does meet in this event, and I would say that she's definitely close to a banker in the pick 6, Alistair.
I've gotten 1 and 2 in my place accumulator, and I'll go 1 and 2 in my pick 6 as well, Raheel. Excuse me. Number 1, Golden Sickle was seriously impressive on local debut. You don't get any better than that, over 1,000 meters, and she just absolutely blew them away. She actually won like a serious filly. I mean, she might be limited distance-wise, but she won like she's got some big race in her. And despite top weight, as you say, pretty much a carbon copy of the last one. If you think she's going to be a good filly like I do, then she ought to win. But I've just kept it open-ended for number 2 on cue. The owners went hard to retain this daughter of Oratoria. They paid quite a bit of money at the Fortune Dispersal sale. Now with Paul Matchett, drawn towards the outside, which is a good thing over 1,000 meters on the Vaal Classic track, which is generally a good thing anyway. And her last couple of runs have been good. She does turn it on. She does need a certain type of ride. Does number 2 on cue. And I hate to bring the stat up, but the horses that have left the Fortunes have been doing very nicely. So number 2 on cue, just as a more of an inkling rather than a suspicion, I'm going to put her into the place accumulator and pick 6. But I do believe it's a 2-horse race. I mean, I think a horse like Simply Magic has a place chance. I think Gimme the Flame can run into the first 4, feather the nest as well down the page. Dancing Door is also good value to throw into trifectas and quartets, but I can't, and Samoa as well, but I can't see any of those beating Golden Sickle or on cue. And I'm probably being counter on cue as well.
Yeah, that's numbers 1 and 2, and on cue she'll be doing her best work at the finish. There's no doubts about that. She'll enjoy a genuine pace on, but Golden Sickle could just get away at the right time. And as you heard from Alistair, she could be a serious filly over in the high felt, and one that maybe could even win a nice race for the owners. We'll move along to race number 9, the final race on the day. It's an MR 68 handicap, and here number 2, Lil Miss Moneybags, is scratched. 1,000 meters the distance for the final race on the day. So last 3 races all over the 5 furlongs. Red Carpet Girl, your favorite, at 22 to 10. Della Sword trading at 5 to 2. It's 7 to 2 about Mia Regina, 12 to 1 and Better Bar. Those now obviously if since we strong on Golden Sickle and she happens to come through to win the previous race, that will just enhance the form of number 8, Red Carpet Girl, who ran a cracking second to her in her previous start and takes on a touch weaker.
Yeah, I don't want to overcomplicate this race, Raheel, but I think the more you go into it, the more puzzled you'll get. So you spot on if Golden Sickle wins race 8, which I expect her to go very close to doing if she doesn't. Then number 8, Red Carpet Girl, I think becomes an even more confident selection. It was a good run last time when staying on strongly. She gave a little bit of cheek to Golden Sickle, but I think Golden Sickle's class and Red Carpet's Girl, lack thereof, probably just swayed things to Golden Sickle and against Red Carpet Girl. But as you mentioned, Golden Sickle Sickle runs in a Feliz and Mayor 76. Red Carpet Girls running in a 68. So that just shows the class difference between the two. That the two races, the two horses are in rather. So number 8, Red Carpet Girl. Can't be confident in a race this week, but she's a good top selection. Back it up with number 5, Mia Regina, who's drawn towards the inside, goes off to the front. That is her way on a fast track. She could be hard to peg back. Interestingly, Jason Gates takes the ride for Tony Peter, but Jason did ride her last time when she was beaten by What a Tiger. It's a worry that What a Tiger went to Hollywoodbets Greyville about a week ago and did nothing. However, I think number 5, Mia Regina's coming to hand in a way, and at this level could be dangerous enough. Her rating came down from a 66 to a 62 on the back of her last run, so I think that's got to tee her up to having a good chance. The other horse that interests me here is number 3, Happy Analia. Although she beat Wait for Green Light, who has now become consigned to the scrap heap, I think that she's got some improvement to at least go well enough. Number 3, Happy Analia. So I've gone with the girls in an open race that obviously caters for all sexes, but I think number 8, Red Carpet Girl, she is my top choice. I don't know how confident I am, but I think she's the most reliable in the final.
I would just throw in number 9, Della Sword, into the mix because last time out I thought she'd run a nice race, and back to the sprints could definitely suit her. Best form over the 1,000, and Keretile Kecheri gets it right. She looks to be on the right mark, that she has to be competitive off once again. Even though it's been 503 days without a win, I think she could run a nice race here, but Red Carpet Girl could just be the horse to beat in the last race on the day. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Alistair will take us through his suggested bet, which is a place accumulator, which begins with the running of race number 3. Alistair, go for it.
Yep, thanks, Rahil. Quarter to 1 has been PAs need to be on by. There's half-hour gaps between the first 4 races, which means there'll be viewership coming through from France to start the season. I've got 1 and 9 in the first leg, Pike Place, and Strewn Sky by 1 and 6 in the second leg, so just be nice and key elements. Then the third leg, I bank it, number 1, Running Rifles, and that's my only banker on the card, although I'm still thinking that it's silly of me to go against Golden Sickle, but we'll get there now. By 1 and 3 leg, 4, Sakai and Judy and Special Charm, that's the race I'm most worried about. By 1, 5 and 6, Rose for Trippy, Rosara and Wings of Nike. By 1 and 2, Golden Sickle and On Cue, so lots of 1s throughout my play. And then 5 and 8, Mia Regina and Red Carpet Girl in the back, and the last race runs at 4:15. So as mentioned, very early doors at the Vaal to start the season.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Alistair's place accumulator with racing out at the Vaal on Tuesday. Alistair, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, look forward to seeing you back here in KZN soon. But all the best, and have a good day on Tuesday over at the Vaal.
Thanks, Rahil. Yep, looking forward to being back in KZN whenever that might be. Always love coming down and seeing all you guys. And it was a wonderful champion season, and hope to do a little bit more outside of champion season. Yeah,
absolutely. Racing out at the Vaal on Tuesday. All the best, guys, with your bets. Race number 1 commences at 11:45.